All right, yo, what's up, everybody? This is the first time I'm doing something like this. I'm going to be releasing a song, or you know what? Nah, I'm gonna release it after it's. I'm gonna do this breakdown. So, by when you're seeing this breakdown, I will have already released this song. Okay, so it'll probably be the Friday before this or Monday, whatever the case may be, whatever. But you get to see how I made it, kind of how I went through the process of building it through production, writing, and all that stuff. So, at first, it started off with. Oh shoot. Okay, messing up stuff. Okay, so at first it started off with me writing a whole bunch of gibberish, and then honestly, at first I wrote a track that was just like, "Oh, I'm so cool," this beat is like $100,000 in my pocket, yada yada, blah blah blah. Talking about money, cash, kind of like lots of that I released before, which I gotta clean up the name for that now that I think about it. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be quote unquote a Christian rapper, but I want to be an artist that is Christian and talks about Christian things, Christian values and stuff like that. So I started thinking, okay, I'm not exactly sure what to write. So let me think about a story that I feel I should revisit. And I started thinking about Jonah and how he was a prophet and he wanted to go a whole other way than what God had said for him to go, and how that kind of went for him. Because I feel like people don't really actually talk about all the things that were going through Jonah's head and what he must have been thinking and how he must have felt. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and write about that on this track. So this is specifically talking about chapter 1, where he got the message from God and was like, nah, I'm good. And he went the complete opposite direction. I kind of picked and decided, all right, what are some of the things that he might have said? But that's neither here or there. That's just lyrically. So sonically, the beat starts off with five elements really, and they go like this. So very cool. So breaking it down from top to bottom. Bear with me. I've never done something like this before, but I thought it'd be fun. So the first thing I did was get like this basic acoustic piano. You know, if you open it up, you see that's like got a slight flam to it. It's not perfect, you know. That's exactly what I wanted. Some of them actually hit a little closer than others, and I just thought that was the perfect effect. So that's the piano. It pretty much carries out the entire way. A lot of these elements pretty much carry out the entire way, right? So right under that is this kick. I really just stuck with the Logic sounds for this. I wanted to get a song idea really, really quickly and just rock with it. So the kick sounds like this. Yeah. So in hindsight, I think I would have layered this kick somehow, some other way. Shut up, phone. I would have layered the kick with another kick to kind of blend the sounds, make it a little thumpier, a little thicker, but it sounds fine that way, you know? Yeah. Kick one, modern throwback, whatever. And then the clap, simple, right? It's on the 3 of every measure. Keep it simple. I really like this clap. Pretty simple. Kept the processing light. And then the hi-hat. It's on what is it? Eighth notes. Pretty much the entire time. I didn't change it one bit. So then when you put those 4 together, you get simple. It left me a ton of room to do a bunch of stuff, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have kept it simple, but it's whatever. It's already done, so I ain't gonna mess with it. And then my favorite part is actually the vocals. I think vocals are my favorite part, period, point blank, across any song that I've ever made. But this is how it kind of complements. This is it by itself. It's just real auto-tuned. I think I bounced it without the auto-tune settings though. And then it goes back into the same thing. So cool. Now let's talk a little bit about the vocals, because that's pretty much what we got going on here. A bunch of little stacks. So here, let's start with these two. So I found this pattern that kind of works for me, where I take one track and I say the first section, then I take another track and I say the second section of the same thing. So the first one kind of goes like this.
I don't really care about time.
Then the second.
I don't really care about time. I already made my mind.
Right. So where I would run out of breath, I could just hop in on the first track and then just kind of like back and forth it. I think in Logic, yeah. So these are the lyrics, and I colored where I should hop in for each track. So track one's like what? Like, I think I did this slightly differently, but whatever. You get the point. So this one would be yellow. That'd be the white track. That'd be the first track. Second track would be white, and then back and forth until I got the whole verse. So I do it once, go back, do it again until I have the full thing. And it worked out pretty well. The one thing I want to work on though is getting like the tonality right, because I think for the second track I kind of shifted my body a little bit, and it sounds slightly different.
I don't really care about time.
Sounds slightly different.
I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. I don't really care what you find.
Right.
I already know what I need. I don't really care what you need. They don't really see it like me. I'm about to be about me. I don't really care about time.
Right? It sounds slightly different. But, okay. So that pretty much carries out throughout the entire thing. Now, I think there's a few places where I said, you know what, I want it to feel a little bit different. It carries on that way. This is the verse.
Think you gon' send me again? Don't ask me. I got the cleanest of hands. They're nasty. They're into idols.
Yeah, that's the verse. The one place
I would just leave him alone. Yeah, honestly, I don't care. What do I cause? Yeah, I'm a message. Yeah, I don't really care about time.
So that time I performed a little bit different. So that entire time I was like, I don't really care about time. But for this one, I kind of backed up and I said, yeah, I don't really care about time. And I kind of bent my voice in a way that it would sound a little bit different. I thought that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Maybe it was a little overdoing it for this track, but like I thought it was cool. So
yeah, I don't really care about time. I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. I don't really care what you find. I already know what I need. I don't really care what you need. They don't really see it like me. I'm about to be about me. I don't really care about time.
It's not the best performance in the world. It's not a perfect edit either, but it's done, you know? And I think that's the aim for this year, is to get things done instead of getting things perfect. And through these breakdowns, through the repetitiveness, through the community that I have, through the mentorship that I'm taking, they'll just get better over time. So I'm kind of through holding back and waiting for the perfect song. It's not gonna happen. This song is the first of many, so I'm actually kind of excited. But anyway, that's neither here or there. And that kind of finishes out like that. So let's get to the fun part, where the backing vocals kind of come in. Let me see, with this one right here, I think I should solo these, or at least just mute these leads. So here,
I don't really care.
like if you solo this,
I don't really care.
like I just did like a whisper to accentuate the lead vocals sections. So
I don't really care about time. I don't really care. I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. I don't really care. I don't really care what you find. I already know what I need. I don't really care what you need. They don't really see it like me. I'm about to be about me. I don't really care about time. I don't really care.
Right.
I don't really.
So that way I could just, it's just like little ad-libs, little tiny things. And then my ad-libs from the first section, they continue too. So
Time. I don't really care. I don't really care
Yeah,
about
they kinda
time.
just beef
I
up that
already
too.
made my mind. I don't really care. I don't really care what you find. I already know what I need. I don't really care what you need. They don't really see it like me. I'm about to be about me.
Right, and it just does that for the entire thing twice. Cool. Then I think this part is kind of interesting here.
I got the cleanest of
Just more
hands. They're
whispering.
nasty. They're into idols and sin, you know. Bad.
Right.
Bah.
I think I just doubled that and put that down. For the other things, I took 2 takes, but at this point, I was just like, bruv, I just need to move forward with this track. Oh, there's a click there. Well, that's what it is. A couple more little hits. Oh, yeah. I just bounced out that auto-tune thing there. Cool. And then there's a few really extra points, like this part where
About to be about me. Yeah.
And then on the mix, I put him in this wet reverb that kind of pushed everything back and made it real spacey. It was like, yeah. It was pretty cool. Another yeah.
I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. I don't really care what you find.
Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves real quick. Hold on. So on this section, which is also one of my favorite little moments here. Let me zoom out right quick because I can't really see it on my screen. Right here. So I made a bunch of different arrangements. I think I started out with, what was it? These bottom background vocals. Started off with this. Right. Right. So that kind of carried out like that. Then I moved on to these top things right here, weirdly enough.
I don't really care about time. I don't really care about time. I already made my mind.
All right.
I don't really care what you find. I already know what I need. I don't really care what you need. They don't really see it like me.
So what I did for these, though, and something that I thought was really cool, and I'll need to play with a little bit more, is Varispeed. So if you're using Logic, Varispeed basically takes your track and it says, hey, let me make it faster, maybe make it slower, and I'll adjust the speed proportionate to the, I'll adjust the pitch proportionate to the speed that you adjust it to as well, which is really cool. Like, and then the thing that I did was I ducked it down in speed and recorded it just like my voice would. So instead of being on the pitch like, I don't really care about time, it was really more like, I don't really care about time. But I could sing it in my regular voice. I don't really care about time. But then when you speed it back up, it'll sound something like this.
I don't really care about time.
It sounds like a completely different person, right? Just a really cool trick. Now, the one thing that I found in like other songs is you got to be real careful how far you stretch it because it'll start bringing in artifacts. At least that's what I think is the problem. From the pitch correction to the formatting of the voice, on top of the Varispeed, like it's doing a lot of different stretching on the voice, so I got to be careful with how far I push it, or even watch like how much energy consumption I'm just doing on my computer, because it just added a bunch of clicks and pops that I had to go into Isotope with and kind of like clean out as best as I could without damaging the vocal. So, but it came out pretty clean for this one. So
I don't really care about time.
and when you add these,
I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. I don't really care what you find.
these are not the leads. They just kind of add a sense of energy to what's going on here already. So like if I put,
I don't really care about time. I already made my mind.
see,
I don't really care what you find. I already know what I need.
yeah, really bad editing and vocal pitching, but it was fun nevertheless. So I think one of my favorite parts is actually this right here. Let me see.
About me, I don't really care about time. I don't really care about time. I already made my mind.
Right, and so I just added those extra harmonies to.
I don't really care about time. I don't really care about time. I already made my mind. Yeah.
And then again with the yeah yeahs, I added like a bunch of reverb to it. And it kind of carried out that way.
I don't really care how you find. I already know what I need.
Oh yeah, I call this the Scooby-Doo stack. Whoa, tripping. All right, I call this the Scooby-Doo stack because I really leaned into the and I just like stacked that 4 times.
I already know what I need.
And then again, there's more of the, I think I labeled it differently or whatever, but I used Verispeed again just because it's fun.
I already know what I need.
Where is it? I think it was these top 2.
I already know what I need.
Right? And this was a little more slight. I think like it wasn't like even 9. It was like 3 or 4 or whatever, just to get that a little feeling of differentiation. I don't know how to explain it, but
I don't really care what you need.
and then just like here in the production section, because I kind of made a new session to mix it and then another session to master it. But I took it to the mix section. I added reverb and all that stuff, but what was I gonna say?
I don't really care what you need.
Yeah, I kind of like made it sit in the back, so that you really have to listen and be like, oh, they're doing it again. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I think
I'm about to be about me. Yeah.
just a couple of shouts. Let me see. Yeah, just a little extra tidbit before we leave, you know.
I'm about to be about me. Yeah.
And that was it. Like nothing too grandiose, nothing too crazy. I think I went through a little bit of everything. My pitch correction. I guess I could go through some of these the tools that I use. Let me see. The problem was I just canceled my auto tune because I was honestly cutting back on plugins. I'm like, look, I need to get the fundamentals down right and stop spending so much money on random stuff that I barely even use. So although I love auto tune from Antares, had to cut it off and just go to the regular pitch correction, which I updated my Logic, and you know, it's the same pitch, whatever, but at least it looks nicer at the very least. And yeah, so I just use this C minor kind of scale, whatever the case is. I think this is a natural. I think it's a natural. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I just used that, and then dang, a lot of these are eyed up. Let me see, a bunch of these are pitch correction with a lot of off plugins, and dang, well, that's pretty much it for the production. Now, if you guys want me to go through how I mixed it, I feel like that's a whole other video, but yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look, I'm gonna be doing more of these breakdowns. I think as I continue to check 1 2. All right, cool. I think as I continue to grow, my production skills, my arrangement, all this, mixing and mastering too, as all of that grows, I'll just be throwing more videos up on here for more breakdowns and stuff like that. But one thing I really want to make a point is I have a community called Grouped, and right now the working name is the Worldwide Yahweh Community, because I want to make music that, like I said, has these Christian values, it goes back to the roots of the Christianity, and just goes back to the Bible, and songs are written with the Bible in mind. Like if you actually, I'm going to be uploading, if I haven't already, the full session of me making this song, Bible open, looking through the verses, applying these verses to the lyrics that I wrote, and then going through with the production and everything. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be in my community. So join up if you kind of want to check that out. But yeah. And then I'll be posting updates on there and stuff. I'm not really quite sure what else to say. So I'm just going to say, y'all have a good night, and thank you for watching if you got this far. All right. Peace, I guess. I don't know.